So we're just following setting a good motivation. And now we're going to begin with some of the, maybe if you put it up, I can't access. Okay, thank you.
What would you like me to put up?
So let's go down to the Shakyamuni Buddha, the first paragraph of the homage to the Buddha would be wonderful. Thank you. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. We're just going to read this first section 3 times. And imagine as if the Buddha is in the space in front of us. He's inseparable from Tara, the same energy. So feel free if you'd like to join in. Guru, teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata Arhat, perfectly complete Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Shugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be subdued, teacher of gods and humans, to you, Buddha Bhagavan, glorious conquer Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Guru, teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata Arhat, perfectly complete Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Shugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be subdued, teacher of gods and humans. To you, Buddha Bhagavan, glorious conquer Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Guru, teacher, Bhagavan, Tathagata Arhat, perfectly complete Buddha, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Shugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of beings to be subdued, teacher of gods and humans, to you, Buddha Bhagavan, glorious conquer Shakyamuni, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. Let's go down to the Heart Sutra. The Heart of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. And so this brings our mind into this, just reflecting on emptiness, which is the best way to do any kind of deity practice. And it's the best thing to have oriented throughout your entire day anyway, as much understanding you have of emptiness. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on Massive Vulture's Mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of profound perfection of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any son of the lineage train who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharadvatiputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no odor, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifestly completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra, great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is declared. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi soha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Bhagavan, having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvatiputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the worlds of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Bhagavan. So you can close that. Thank you. We're going to go to our Tara practice. I just want to read a little bit this commentary. And actually, just if you'd like to just close your eyes, let me just read a little bit before we, so you're not distracted. From Lama Zopa Rinpoche. So once again, some of this we heard last week, some of you are new from last week, but it's always nice to again put our minds to understand what she is about. So there are some older stories, legends, that the Buddha of infinite compassion, Chenrezig in Tibetan or Avalokiteshvara in Sanskrit, who is the Buddha, wanted to free all beings from suffering, became overwhelmed at one point and cried, and out of one of his tears sprang Tara. So they're in the same Buddha family, and she sprang, I will help you. So she's the green Tara that we're going to focus on this evening, very active type of enlightened attitude like that. So she's very active to clear obstacles. So let me read a little bit more from Lama Zopa Rinpoche. The Venerable Tara, a female aspect of the Buddha, was originally born as a princess called Yeshi Dawa. Okay, Yeshi wisdom, primordial wisdom, Dawa moon, or Monday or month, in the world called manifold lights. She was greatly devoted to the teachings of the Buddha of that period, whose name was Drum Sound, and for many hundreds of millions of years made offerings to numberless Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats of the time. So we want to think about our Dharma practice. Here's something to interject, is in the scheme of eons. You know, we're so enmeshed in this life and all the drama of this life, right? Okay, but think about all, if you believe in reincarnation, think about all the lives you've had. Okay, all the multitudes of details of those lives, all the dramas of those lives. And for most of us, we don't remember anything about those lives. So how enmeshed do you want to be in all those details and drama of this life? Okay, but if you think about hundreds of millions of years of your Dharma practice in your mind, continuing on, imprints being made, okay? So even here right now, we can continue each lifetime to evolve a little bit more fully, to become a little bit better each time. Okay, and eventually become a Buddha. So she's just talking about there are other Buddhas of the fortunate eon, one of them named Drum Sound, like that. So each day she would prepare offerings, precious cloth in each of the 10 directions. Because of these merits, she received bodhicitta. So you have no idea what lighting one tea light in your practice with a good motivation can do, what it sets you up for in the future. So again, think of the bigger picture, like that. Some monks of the period told Tara if she made prayers to receive a male body and to be a benefit to the teachings, her prayers would be successful. But she replied, many work for sentient beings with male bodies, but few with female. Therefore, I shall work for all sentient beings as a female until samsara ends. So remaining in the palace, unattached to sense objects that she enjoyed, she practiced meditation and attained the state known as releasing all living beings. That's what she helps to do, is release all of us from our frustration, our fears, our suffering, our stress. Through the power of this, each and every morning she released hundreds of millions of others from worldly thoughts, bringing them to the same level, and every afternoon she did the same. She changed her name to Tara, the liberator, and consequently the Buddha drum sound prophesied that she would be known as the goddess Tara until all sentient beings received enlightenment. So a great number of Indian pandits, Indian yogis, have become enlightened through the Tara practice, through the practice of this yoga method, such as Tilopa, Naropa, people like that, Dipankara Tisha, like that. And similarly in Tibet, countless Tibetan lamas have accomplished all the Sutra and Tantra realizations by relying on Tara. So Lama Tsongkhapa and Drum Tompa and many, many other lamas. In my own life, there is a beautiful lama I met years ago when I first got into Buddhism called Tara Toku. So Tara, a male emanation, Tara Toku, he's since reincarnated. I haven't met the reincarnation, but I knew him in his past life. He was absolutely beautiful, a magnificent manifestation of a being. Just, you were never tired of looking at him. You just always wanted to look at him, and really precious being. And then I also know that the Lama who gave me ordination as a nun, Choden Rinpoche, he made a commitment. So on the 8th of every Tibetan month, which is Tara Day, he would take these vows of certain vows associated with Tara and certain vows about eating certain things on those days and refraining from certain foods and things like that. And a serious practitioner like that. So, and then this goes on, Rinpoche mentions, as long as we continue to observe the law of karma, we need never doubt that Tara will help us also to reach enlightenment. A little bit more about the mantra. So again, Aryatara is a female representation or aspect of the Buddha who releases, who liberates. She can help prevent hindrances and help to generate quickly the steps of the path to enlightenment. From her side, there's nothing left to be released, as she's removed every single obscuration and received enlightenment ages ago by following the path. She wished to receive enlightenment in a female body, and in that way to benefit sentient beings. We are the object whom she helps. Okay, so this is the purpose and function of Om Tare, Tutare, Ture Soha. That is her mantra, and we'll go over that. We'll have it on the screen when we're reciting the mantra. So explain a little more fully about the mantra. So most mantras contain Om as an opening part at the beginning, and Soha or Hong at the mantra's end is the deity's meaning, signifying the path. Okay, it contains method and wisdom of the path. And so all of these mantras that we recite generally are about that method and wisdom, meaning the blend of, at a higher level, of bodhicitta and emptiness. Method, bodhicitta, our way, our skillful means of that enlightened attitude, and the wisdom, realizing emptiness, is our view. So we need both of those to get enlightened. We actualize method and wisdom by purifying our body, speech, and mind, and becoming, in this case, one with Tara. Om signifies Tara's holy body, speech, and mind, because Om is actually made up of 3 letters. And the Tare, Tutare, Ture contains the essence of the 4 noble truths. So Tare signifies release from samsara, the female one who releases, and this shows her function. The help she gives us is to release us from samsara, freeing us from suffering. Tutare signifies dispelling fear, the female one who cuts off or dispels the 8 fears or dangers. So stopping each fear, which is related also to an outer danger. So I mentioned these last week. I'll just go through these more quickly. These are the 8 fears. Ignorance is the danger of the elephant. Hatred, danger of fire. Attachment is the danger of water. Pride is the danger of the lion. Jealousy is the danger of the snake. Wrong view is the danger of the thief. Doubt is the danger of the hungry ghost. And miserliness is the danger of chains. So again, talking about the danger of the elephant, we are not going to meet with elephants, but what we do meet with is ignorance. The elephant is a symbol for that, like the lion is a symbol for pride, which we experience in our hearts and minds sometimes. So Tara saves from all these 8 dangers of the disturbed and unsubdued mind and its karmic actions. And that's really what the dangers signify, the disturbed and unsubdued mind and its karmic actions. She's the female one who releases from the 8 fears. Release shows the true path of cessation, the true path of both Theravadan and Mahayana. So Tara releases us from the cause of suffering, the 8 fears of the disturbed and unsubdued mind and its action of karma. Okay. So again, the true path of cessation, meaning a total cessation of all our mental afflictions, is nirvana in the Theravadan path, or liberation, which is seen in a sense as their enlightenment, right? And also recognized on the Mahayana path as being the end of the suffering, an end of all the mental afflictions permanently, like that. When you become what's considered an arhat, like that on the path. Back to the mantra a bit, ture. So om tare tu tare, ture. The second to the last syllable signifies release from disease, not only physical disease that we ordinarily recognize. Tara not only releases us from those physical sufferings, she also benefits by releasing sentient beings from mental diseases. And in Buddhism, they talk about 84,000 afflictions, 84,000 diseases of the disturbed and unsubdued mind and its karmic actions. So this shows the true cessation of suffering by actualizing the true path, realizing nirvana, the release from samsara, and the enlightenment within one's own mind. Tara shows the true path to us and to all sentient beings. This is how she leads those who wish to and who need to be brought to the release of nirvana and on to enlightenment. Gradually, she brings sentient beings to Buddhahood by showing the entire path. She liberates us and all sentient beings from the fears of samsara, bringing us first to the blissful state of peace for oneself, that's nirvana, and then further liberating us from the bondage of the blissful state of peace to bring us to ultimate enlightenment. She's a very special deity, a manifestation of all the Buddha's holy actions of body, speech, and mind, and therefore she's called Mother Tara. So by depending on Tara, one receives enlightenment as all those who in the past have depended on this special deity, this manifestation of all the Buddha's holy actions, and have received enlightenment from that. Thus, Tara is the mother from whom all the Buddhas of the 3 times have been born and from whom we receive enlightenment. In this way, we could say may we all be born from Mother Tara. So again, why is she called Mother? She's the essence of all the holy minds of all the Buddhas. Holy mind, which is absolute guru, Dharmakaya in Sanskrit, the truth body of the Buddha. So even though we recognize her in female aspect, the base upon which we label her is Dharmakaya, this truth body of the Buddha, the holy mind of all the Buddhas. In a sense, Dharmakaya is the wisdom from which everything comes. There is not one Buddha that has not been born from this Dharmakaya. No sentient being received enlightenment without depending, and that's what they really mean by guru, by depending on the guru, by depending on Dharmakaya. Okay, that's absolute guru. So again, I spoke to a few people before this class about guru, things like that. We have external manifestations of gurus. Lama Zopa Rinpoche, for instance, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, okay? And they're simply there to remind us, to inspire us of the true power of our own minds. Okay? But what they're trying to do is, through that process of inspiration, through the process of guidance, is to move us to recognize the absolute guru in ourselves, and then to be motivated from there, to act from there. And that's what enlightenment is about. We all have that potential to do that. So the absolute guru manifests in different forms and reveals different methods according to the level of one's own mind. Okay? And that's, again, relative guru arising from absolute guru. Relative guru, manifestation like Lama Zopa Rinpoche. So because we don't have the connection yet with absolute guru, because we don't know what that feels like, what that means, they will manifest in a way that suits our minds, that our karma allows us to see and connect with. And then they teach us, they guide us, and they give us these reminders. All past, present Buddhas have been, and all future Buddhas will be born from the absolute guru, which functions to release all of us from all suffering and obscurations. Okay, so we're going to try a reverse method. And what I'd like to do is we're going to start, and I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start with the praises to generate a little energy for the practice. And these are the praises to the 21 Taras. So Tara, the green one, we will focus on a little later, is like an emerald green goddess, but there happens to be 21 versions of her. Each one is slightly different, and this is there's 4-line verse for each of the 21 Taras. Some are wrathful, some are peaceful. We're also quite familiar with the white Tara that is often representative of long life practices. So you would talk to her and do a different mantra if you have life obstacles and things like that. And each of the Taras has a different mantra. And there are booklets and commentaries just on that you can study. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at the praises. And what I do is I do the praises every day. You can do as ever many you want to go through. You can do them in English. You can do them in Tibetan. You can do a combination. We have sometimes done all-night Tara practices, and I do remember doing one some years ago at Shantideva Center. We did that once at Tushita Dharamsala, and it was all night, and we were doing them in Tibetan because a number of people there knew it in Tibetan. It tends to roll a little better in the Tibetan for some reason, and that was the way I ended up memorizing it, because I didn't know them initially at that time. And through the constant repetition, and you'd be reading your book, sometimes we were sitting, sometimes we were standing, walking, but then just the repetition is, if you recite things out loud as a way, you will repeat and remember like that and memorize. So this is a nice one, which I do every day, and I have a list I like to read of all the different beings that I pray for every day and all the different obstacles that need removing, whether it's centers, issues in the world, and you can make your own list. And then I kind of, read them, and you can say them to yourself. You can read it out loud. You can add to the list, print it out on your computer and change it up every couple of weeks if you like, or every month. And then I kind of say this, and then I talk to Tara as if she really exists. Like, I like to kind of feel there is a presence that somehow, and ask for her help with all of these different situations. And then I recite do my recitation. So why don't we take a moment, just in your own heart and mind, whatever you feel like you need right now, for whomever you're asking for help, whatever obstacle the center may have that we'd like that to be removed, take a moment to set your intentions of what you'd like to focus on right now. And bringing Tara to mind and visualizing this beautiful, radiant green goddess now in the place of Shakyamuni Buddha, in a sense emerging from his heart. Imagine her a few feet in front of you, about 6 inches in height. And the more you can visualize her in the nature of green light, like a beautiful emerald, you can visualize her seated with her left leg drawn in to show she has control over desire, sexual energy, like that. Her right leg is extended out because she's a very active manifestation. She's ready to jump up to serve all living beings. She's draped in beautiful silks and scarves. Her left hand is, I believe at her heart, and it holds a beautiful lotus flower. And she has her right hand at her right knee, granting realizations. And I think it holds the stem of an upala flower. Beautiful manifestation of green Tara. You can visualize her seated on a beautiful, open, multicolored lotus, rising out of the swamp unstained. And so it represents renunciation, or emerging from our suffering. And on top of that, you could imagine she's seated on a flat moon disk, the nature of white light, representing relative bodhicitta. Those are her foundations, like that. And we'll read this invocation, asking her to come and join us in this visualization. From your sublime abode at the Potala, O Tara born from the green letter Tam, your crown adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, Tara, please come with your attendants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. So we'll do one set of these praises, and they move along at a bit of a clip. It's an energetic type of recitation. And you could visualize around her are the other 20 manifestations of her surrounding her. All of the power babes, basically. All I prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage, Tara, swift, heroic, eyes like lightning, instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of 3 worlds, tear-born lotus. Homage, she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as a 1,000-star collection. Homage, golden blue on lotus, water-born and hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerities, patience, meditation, her sphere. Homage, crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors' children, having reached every perfection. Homage, filling with Tutare, whom desire, direction, and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage, worshipped by the All-Lord, Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, honored by the host of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with her trait and paid sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze. Homage to a very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart, her fingers adorn her with three jewel mudra, light ray masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage, she's so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her Hong sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments most shining, Amitabha in her hair, not sending out much light eternal. Homage, she mid-wreath ablaze like eon ending fire abiding. Right strength, left bent joy surrounds you, troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats, scaling with the letter Hong, the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful, she whose field is peace nirvana, she endowed with Om Soa, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder, frees with Hong and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to a with seed letter of the shape of syllable Hong, by foot stamping shakes the 3 worlds, May Ramanda Yar and Vindhya. Homage holding in her hand the hair-marked moon of Deva leg form, with twice spoken Tara and Pei, totally dispelling poison. Homage, she whom gods and their kings and the Kinnaras do honor, armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage, she whose eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with twice Hara and Tutare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating, power by the set of 3 natures, destroys hosts of spirits, yakshas, and raise corpses supreme ture. These praises with the rude mantras and prostrations thus are 21. So this is a line drawing of Arya Tara, Noble Tara, and we're going to go now to the practice, a little bit different types of practice of the short sadhana. So sadhana means method of accomplishment, and there are some that are brief and some that are very long that we do. And Rinpoche has incorporated a little bit of thinking about the Lam Rim in this, which can be very helpful. And so, meaning if I do this practice and do it with good intention and good visualization and concentration, over and over, repeating it daily, it starts to merge with your mind. And so one of my lamas was saying that the words, the prayers, and some of us resist that, the words, the mantras are a walking stick for your mind. It starts to have an effect on the subtle mind. I've noticed that for myself. It does seem to have some inner resonance like that. And so it's quite significant to just slowly look at the stuff that our mind is merged with. So you could look at that of what normally occurs in your mind. Like, and when you're having an emergency, when you're a bit stressed, what comes up in your mind? And so it's much nicer to reach for some spiritual practice to have Tara arise in your mind rather than some less than virtuous experience, right? So let's start with some of this, a little glancing look at the Lam Rim as we start to begin this practice. We begin with refuge. I take refuge in the Holy Guru, essence of all Buddhas, original grantor of all holy teachings, and Lord of all supreme beings. Please, Guru Buddhas, bestow on me the ability to unify my mind with the Dharma and be successful in practicing Dharma in order to achieve the graduated path. May no hindrances occur while achieving this path. So these prayers, really think about what you're saying. So I do this prayer in a version in a different way, and it comes in Rinpoche's, what Rinpoche likes us to do in the morning is a method for transforming a suffering life into happiness. So there's a very old prayer that we've done, some of us have done for years, of May the Dharma take hold in my mind. May the path become free of obstacles. May my Dharma become my mind. May the path become without obstacles. May I have success on the path and things like that. There's different versions of that. But you want that to happen every day. So do you say it every day? But do you say it with thinking about it? I want this to be my path. I want the path to be free of obstacles. Please help me to have that going on. What happens is our minds wake up with a bunch of our lists of all we have to do during the day, and it's not that beneficial. So these are just little tools, like take one paragraph if that's the one you like, and that's what you use in your motivation, something like that. And then Rinpoche here is taking us again through the different motivations of the Lam Rim, the lower motivated, lower capable being, medium, and higher capable being. So let's just reflect on these motivations. Please bless me to realize that I have received a perfect human rebirth, which is highly meaningful, for many reasons difficult to obtain, but perishable, transient, and fragile, decaying in the shortest moment because of its changeable nature. Thus, my death is definite, but its actual time is most indefinite, and after death I am far more likely to be reborn in the lower suffering realms, having created infinitely more negative than positive karma in this life and all previous lives. So I'm not reciting that paragraph trying to bring your mind down, okay? But if we don't reflect on death every day, okay? So if you take a moment right now, just 10 seconds, think about death for a moment. Think about how it's coming to you soon. And I'm not creating that happening to you soon. I'm just saying, this is reality. This is reality. Even if you say, well, I should have 40 or 50 more years, right? Or 30 more years, that's soon. In the grand scheme of all these eons, that is soon. So when you reflect on it, you get some people get a little jolt, a little nervous, a little contemplative, like that. Then drive that, let that fuel your practice. I don't know when I'm going to die, but it's definitely going to happen. It's the only thing I can count on. That is definitely going to come in this life. So am I ready? It's a great thing to reflect on every day, okay? So let's make these things we reflect on useful in your practice, not just about blah, 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 reading something and you say, well, I read that page. Okay. You want to think about it. You want to have it go into the heart. Okay, let's continue on. So as a result of that, please bless me to comprehend how incredibly unendurable is the suffering of the lower realms, so that I can take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha with all my heart and realize the evolution of karma in all its profundity, that I might perform only virtuous actions and abandon all negative creations. That's lower scope motivation. Prayer of the practitioner, middling capability. By practicing in this way, I will be reborn in the upper realms, but will still have to experience unlimited samsaric suffering because of uncontrolled delusion and karma. Please bless me to realize fully the evolution of samsara from uncontrolled rebirth to death to rebirth, and to follow day and night the three higher trainings of the path: higher conduct, higher concentration, and higher wisdom, which are the main methods to release me from samsara. Higher capable being. But as each sentient being has been my mother, and as most of them are in extreme suffering, please bless me to bring success to all by renouncing the perfect happiness of self and practicing the Bodhisattva's deeds of the six perfections with a Bodhisattva's mind of exchanging self with others on the basis of the equanimity meditation. Thus shall have no sorrow in experiencing the samsaric suffering of all other sentient beings for no matter how long, having trained my mind in the general path. That's the sutra path. Now the tantric path. Please bless me to follow the quick Vajrayana teachings by feeling sentient beings suffering, very unimaginably unbearable for even the shortest moment, as my own, and to achieve the attainment of Shakyamuni Buddha immediately at this very moment by keeping my ordinations and the instructions of the Guru with the best and highest care in life for the sole purpose of enlightening all sentient beings. So that gives us a broad wonderful motivation. And now the visualization, beginning the actual practice. So please visualize now above the crown of your head. Visualize a lotus and a moon disk. You could visualize a beautiful white lotus if you like, moon disk white. Upon these is the great treasury of compassion, Arya Tara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind root guru. If you don't have a root guru, no problem. You just visualize Tara there. You could visualize His Holiness the Dalai Lama as a root guru. She's one with him. Or Shakyamuni Buddha, or Lama Zopa Rinpoche. My guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent bubble of rainbow-colored light. So again, if you don't have the guru, you just visualize Tara, or you visualize your guru. Pink in complexion, and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma and holds a Vajra, and the stem of a white lotus that blooms beside his right ear. His left hand rests on his hip and holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blooms beside his left ear. As best as you can, you try to visualize this being facing the same direction as you, about 6 inches in height, over top your crown. At my guru's heart, so here you can visualize little Arya Tara in a female aspect, green in color, and seated in the dancing posture within a rainbow bubble. Okay, again, the more you can visualize everything in the nature of light, fantastic. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is outstretched. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue upali flower. Her right hand extended over her right knee is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She's beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves at her 3 places and bears those syllables, Om at her forehead, a white Om, and that's that syllable, the top right, that you see on the right of the English text. In the center of her throat is a red Ah, which is the 2nd syllable down. At her heart, a blue Hung, in the nature of blue light, is the 3rd syllable down. Also at the center of her tiny heart, little white moon disk is seated. So is a lotus and a moon disk. And on that is her radiant seed syllable, a green letter Tam, standing upright. And that's the 4th syllable down on the right. And imagine rays of green light radiate from that Tam syllable in all the directions, invoking all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. So imagine those light rays going out and pulling back all that enlightened energy now, right into the center of Arya Tara's heart, over top your crown, fully invigorating her. And so make this prayer. Please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. Just feel that heartfelt prayer. Please stay with me in a sense. Please guide me. Please be there for me. And as all these sadhanas start with refuge and bodhicitta, we'll recite again. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. 7-limb prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. All sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time, I confess. I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. O Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends and turn the wheel, the Dharma, for sentient beings. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. Mandala offering. So once again, we often offer a mandala world system. Okay, we sometimes put our hands in this configuration. Some people use their rosary, so the hands are not empty. And this is simply visualizing the most incredible offerings you can give that you would like to offer in order to get one teaching, one syllable of Dharma, one practice session, just mirroring what they did in ancient days, like that. So we'll read these verses. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments. Without any sense of loss, I offer this collection. Please accept it with pleasure and bless me with freedom from the 3 poisons. Idam Guru Radha Mandalakam Niratayami. So we're going to do purification of the body, speech, and mind, and all the subtle obscurations. So please make this request. Each of them comes with their own request. Please bless me to purify all obscurations or non-virtues of my body so it becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So after we do this, imagine right now white light emanates from the Om at Arya Tara's brow. So once again, Arya Tara is at the heart of your Guru, or if you don't visualize a Guru, you have her over top your crown, and from her brow, from that white Om, the center of her brow, imagine white light curving around like an arc, and it comes in and enters you through your brow. Okay, and my body's purified completely of all obscurations, especially all those negativities you've done with your body, and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. Request. Please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. And now visualize red light emanates from the Ah at Arya Tara's throat. Over top your crown, curves in an arc around to your throat, entering your throat. And just think, my speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. The next request, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Blue light emanates from the Hong at Arya Tara's heart, over top your crown, curves in an arc and enters your heart. Think, my mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. The fourth request, please bless me to purify all delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. So this purifies the subtle obscurations. And visualize that 3 colored beams emanate simultaneously from the Om, Ah, and Hung syllables at Tara's throat, heart, and crown, throat, and heart, curving in an arc and entering my 3 places, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind. So if you'd visualized a Ruku, imagine they dissolve into Aryatara, who melts into green light, which flows into me. Instantly, my wrong conception that I and all other phenomena are self-existent, together with my dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. So whatever understanding you have of emptiness, please reflect on that now. I concentrate one pointedly in this empty state with the wisdom that is indistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful, omniscient mind. And imagine out of that emptiness, my wisdom manifests instantly as Aryatara's holy body, seated upon a lotus and moon cushion. So you would visualize her, if you don't have highest yoga tantra initiation, on your crown, once again, seated on the beautiful lotus and moon, and she is again 6 inches in height, facing the same direction as you. So where it says at my heart, you'd visualize at her heart is another lotus and moon, upon which in the center stands the seed syllable, the syllable tam, green tam, surrounded in a clockwise direction by the syllables of her mantra, Om Tare, Tutare, Ture, Soha. Excuse me. So the V of the last syllable, Soha or Svaha, the Tibetans in their language don't have a V pronunciation. So often it's pronounced Soha or Svaha, both are proper, like that. The Tam and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. And imagine that green light radiates from all the letters, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karmas, gross delusions, and subtle obscurations to omniscience of all living beings who become Tara. So you can even imagine going all the way over to Gaza, and all the beings there, all the beings fighting there, all of them become Tara. Going over to Russia and Ukraine, and all the beings there becoming Tara, and all the other challenging places on the planet. And again, light radiates, bearing manifold offerings to the 6 transcendental senses of all the Buddhas and sentient beings who have become Tara. The enlightened beings are extremely pleased and shower down the superlative qualities of Buddha Tara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind, omniscient wisdom, supreme power, and infinite compassion in the form of a great shower of light rays. As I recite the mantra, imagine you're absorbing and being blessed by this rain of nectar. So we're going to take 15 minutes, reciting the mantra for 15 minutes. And again, trying to keep the visualization going as best as you can. So the mantra is at the top of your screen, Om Tare, Tutare, Ture Soha, and you can see the Tibetan underneath, like that, starting left to right. So we're going to chant some together first, and then you can recite at any speed that you like, as long as you are enunciating clearly, like that, and just trying to keep your visualization going as best as you can. And just feel all this obscurations lifted, like that, all that release from suffering. Om Dare, Tutare, Ture Soha. Om Dare, Tutare, Ture Soha. Om Dare, Tutare, Ture Soha. Om Dare, tutare ture soha, om tare, 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 tutare ture soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. So imagine the beautiful emerald green goddess on your crown slowly dissolves from the edges of that visualization into the center, and along with the lotus, the moon disk, and the lotus and moon disk and Tom's syllable and mantra garland and her heart all dissolve into a radiant green drop of light. Imagine that emerald green drop dissolves into your crown. Just feel the oneness with Aryatara's holy body, holy speech, holy mind. Just feel she is ever present in your heart. Anytime you wish to call her up, she's there. So these practices help us keep a closer connection with these aspects of the omniscient mind. And the dedication prayers here, the short ones in the practice, we can recite together. May I quickly become Guru Aryatara Pagma Droma and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow. May that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. So that concludes our Tara practice for this evening. And I'm just going to do some, join us in, I'll share some longer dedication prayers. Let's see if this will do it. Ugewadi nyorudak lama sange drugyone drowa chikyang maluba nei sala Barjo Jiangju Senjo Rinpoche Ma ge pa nam ge gyur jig, ge wan yam ba me ba yong, gone gon du bel war show. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, I too dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times, so I might perform good works. I dedicate whatever virtues I've ever collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of perfect pure Losang Drakpa to shine forever. So I'd also like to dedicate to peace in all the conflicted places on the planet, especially Gaza and Ukraine, for food to be plentiful for everyone in all world systems immediately, for all the suffering of those who are struggling, may that be eliminated completely, immediately, and for the success and flourishing of all of our Dharma centers, especially Shanti Deva Center, and may all beings be well. And could we have the final dedication prayers from the Long Life for His Holiness and Rinpoche's swift return? Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Rinpoche says, when you say this, really think of His Holiness. Really put your mind there when we say these prayers for His Holiness, and also requesting for Rinpoche to swiftly return to us. Great. If you can make it a bit bigger, that would be great.
What's that? Stepping out?
Yeah, that's great. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech. May all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for the swift return for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, can we get yeah, we're kind of missing the right side of, thank you. Or maybe just make it a slightly bit smaller. So yeah, great. Thank you so much. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and from other living beings you suddenly departed to peace, what a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the 3 jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples. I want to thank everyone so much. And I just wanted to ask if there's any particular questions before we close. Questions about the practice. And it's lovely to see some of you. Will, welcome. It's been a while. And all the rest of you as well. And maybe I'll see some of you soon in New York next month, I hope. It'd be lovely.
Farewell, looks like Jay has a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just a quick one, if I could. When you gave the description of the meaning of the mantra, where can I find that written down?
And sorry, who is speaking?
Jay in Australia.
Are you on the phone or you're,
Can you hear me all right?
yes,
Okay.
I'm not seeing you, I guess. I guess you're not, you're in a hidden
I,
picture.
I don't have enough bandwidth out here,
Oh,
sweetheart.
okay, no problem. That is in the commentary that you can download at the fpmt.org shop. So if you go
Okay.
to the shop and you have to, it's unfortunately the search engine doesn't work well. So if you put Tara, nothing much sometimes comes up, but you can search on Tara and then it's basically there's a short booklet, and in there there's a commentary and the practice. And you'll see in the table of contents, it's the commentary, the practice, and the 21 praises. And that commentary is what I was reading from.
Is it
So
called the short commentary? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
called, let me see hang on one second, I will find it. Let me see the actual name of it. I'm going to go to the front of this. Okay. So what this one is called A Short Practice of Green Tara. A short practice of green Tara, including praises to the 21 Taras. And that's the text, and it's got a picture of her, I think, on the front. Now, there are different versions of this, and this is a version, the latest version is 2014. So that's one of the later versions they have of that.
Okay, so it says
You'll see when
21
it says,
Tara in the titles. It's got 21 Tara part of the name
it's
of
got the
title.
21 Taras in it. And if you go to the table of contents,
Yeah.
it starts with the actual practice and then a commentary on Green Tara by Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And that's what has some explanation of the mantra.
Perfect. Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So just let us know if you can't find that, and we can certainly direct you there. Yeah.
Cool.
Is that the short practice of Green Tara ebook and PDF from FPMT? It's a green booklet.
I don't know if it's green. Mine is just a white cover, but I have it online. I don't have the actual printout.
I think
But again, it should be a short version of that from the.
But I wasn't sure if that was.
Let me see if I can, hang on one second. I'm going to find you the link right now.
I did put the link in the chat area. If you
Oh,
can
thank you, Jennifer.
check, it's a two
Wonderful.
edition with the place.
Yes. Okay.
So I think that should be it.
Also, everybody, I want to thank Venerable Amy, and I also put in the chat several places where you can make donations, either to the center or she has specific links that you can donate to her. So I just
Thank
wanted
you
to
so much. That's so kind. And thank you. Yeah, so Jennifer's put, thank you so much. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, that should be that should be it. I'm just going to open it quickly to make sure that's oh, so that's the nice one with let's see. Table of contents.
also.
32. Yeah, I think that's the one. I think that should be the one. Mine just looks a little different, but I'm pretty sure that contains everything. Great. Thank you so much for posting that. Thank you, Shanti Davis Center. Thank you, Sheila, and everybody helping. And thank you all for showing up. For me, it's a really special practice, and it doesn't take very long, honestly. You have a half an hour a day. It doesn't have to be a long, elaborate thing. These practices can happen more quickly. You can recite some of the opening prayers more quickly. It's mostly get that motivation in place, your intent, have your things you'd like to clear obstacles, feel her presence there like that. And then you just try to recite with as much concentration as you can. And it can be really helpful once in a while to do like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Venerable Amy. This is really
Thank you
beautiful.
so much. And yeah, thank you so much. And if you're interested, I think most of you know how to reach me or something, but I was just thinking, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong thing here. Oh God, I've had so many obstacles today. It's just bizarre. I thought all day today was Friday, so I'm in that kind of space. Not so helpful. If you want to know some other things I'm doing, my website is there. And, again, if you have some brief questions or something, but I'm in a mode because May 9th, I'm leaving the country for the rest of the year, preparing for a 4 to 5 month retreat. So it's a little full on right now, but it's a great way to stay in touch. A lot of the things I am doing are online. So, and I would encourage some of you, if you're interested in traveling to India, In November, I'm teaching at Tushita Dharamsala a couple classes, and one is an intermediate level on death and rebirth. It's a 9-day retreat. So if you want to have that kind of experience, please join us. It'll be really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Venerable Amy. Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you, Venerable
Thank you,
Amy.
everybody. Thank you for coming and joining us.